Well, Sunday, the 9th of February, will forever go down in Argyle history. It's the day we knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup. An absolutely incredible afternoon at Home Park. Argyle beating Liverpool. Just the fourth side to beat Liverpool this season. Yes, they were much changed, but still had loads of internationals, top quality players in their side. And Argyle dumped them out and are into the fifth round of the Emirates FA Cup for the first time in 18 years. Remarkably, a game of so many stats, so many moments, so much to talk about. So it's a good job that I've got Aaron Cusack with me to help us with Argyle analysis. And before we get going into it, Aaron, you know, there was a lot of celebrations yesterday, but I think we've got to celebrate in the only way possible, Miral Muslic style, with a couple of Fantas.
Oh, why not?
We don't have the nachos, unfortunately, to go with it, but
cheers.
Cheers, indeed.
Absolutely.
Cheers. What an afternoon, eh?
Oh.
What an afternoon at Home Park. Worthy of a celebration like this.
Of a Fanta, absolutely. I mean, where to start? Just a terrific demonstration of a game plan that they all were fully aware of and implemented to perfection. And the fact that Arne Slot said afterwards we couldn't break them down just showcases the quality of the game plan, and not only that, the way in which the players went about applying it.
That is a very good point. A lot has been made, not just Arne Slot, which was, you know, it was great to hear from him, but Robbie Fowler in the TV coverage, and a lot of our Liverpool supporters have mentioned the same thing. They haven't kind of gone, oh well, we were absolutely rubbish, you know, we didn't play whatever. They've all credited Argyle and saying, "I tell you what, we couldn't do anything against the set, strict game plan that Miral Muslic had laid out."
Absolutely,
and the players executed.
Yeah, and the fact that they probably weren't used to a defensive strategy of that ilk that they have in week out in the Premier League. So it was unusual for them. It was uncharted territory, and they didn't have an answer. And what I really liked was the fact that whilst we were really rigid and we knew that we were going to give up possession, they stuck to their plan and they just collapsed and made the gaps as tight and as small as possible. And Liverpool, we know, are a team that like to attack space at pace, and they like running beyond and stretching opposition lines, and there was just no room to run into. And as a result, they just huffed and puffed and they had no answer whatsoever. Like you've already said, appreciate their biggest hitters weren't on the pitch, but they still had, you know, that front three of Chiesa, Diaz and Jota, 3 fully fledged internationals. They still couldn't unlock the back door. So it was fantastic to see.
I'm sure you've already seen it a million times. I've seen it a million times. I'm sure you have as well, Aaron. But let's remind ourselves of the goal and the way in which we managed to put out the Premier League leaders. Penalty 10 minutes into the second half.
It was. We started really well in the second half. There was no doubt it was a penalty. I mean, Harvey Elliott, I mean, he tried to defend his decision, but Ryan Hardie, credit to him to step up and have the confidence and the conviction to put it away. He scored last weekend against West Brom, sent Kelleher the wrong way. And no doubt, I wonder if things were going through his mind a few years ago when he had that penalty against Chelsea. Redemption right there. But it was his confidence, and we know Ryan well. Give him a chance and he'll take it, and he'll always back himself. And I'm really pleased with him because it looks like he's coming back into scoring form at a real pivotal time in the season. I mean, you've got Ryan Hardie, who's playing in a different position, just wide of a front three, and you could see the work rate he put in to help Matti Sorinola. And you know, when the ball, it wasn't only centrally, but when the ball went wide, you can definitely see a difference in the way that they set up in wide areas as well. So, you know, it's great to see that it's not just one area of the pitch, it seems to be all over.
Let's have a look at some of those wide
Absolutely, and those wide areas, the trend happening now is the fullbacks don't always initiate the 1v1, they actually go with the runners. So as the ball comes out, I think it's Puach, and it comes out to Chiesa on the right-hand side. Watch Puach, he's going to actually go with the overlap, and then it's Pleguezuelo that's going to lock to Chiesa. Now, recent in previous games this year, it's been the opposite way, and teams have got in through the overlap. And as we speed it up and go to the other side, the same will happen. So it'll go wide out towards Tsimikas and Luis Diaz, and it's Sorinola and it's Ryan Hardie. So Sorinola will engage Diaz as the ball goes to him, but it's Ryan Hardie who stays with Diaz, and Sorinola goes with a runner. So they almost instantly swap over and flip their roles. And as a result, you keep your defensive structure in line, and you can't. They don't expose the byline areas. And you know, you'll see it again here. It goes wide, and it's the fullback that goes with the runner. And it's a really clever way of keeping your structure, only if 2 players are locked on together, and they were. And it happened in the second half again. Watch this. So you get the ball here. Sorinola, he's the 1v1 moment. So you think engage the ball. Ryan Hardie's got to go with Tsimikas. Well, it doesn't have. It's Diaz, sorry. And it's not. They just swap over. And as a result, Diaz goes in field and he overhits a pass wide. So, you know, it's a good way of keeping your focus and discipline. But players understand what's expected of them in these moments. So as the ball goes wide in this moment, watch what will happen this time. You'd think Sorinola would engage, but it's not. It's Ryan Hardie. So Sorinola will just back him up in behind, because in the event that Ryan Hardie might get done 1v1, Sorinola's there, available to mop up or engage as a secondary option. And this is where it did happen. So later in the second half, I think it's Sorinola and Maxi. So Sorinola gets a 1v1 moment. He gets done there, and then Maxi's in a position to actually smother and help his teammate. So it was a brilliant display of wide defending and helping your teammate in those. What they clearly didn't want is 1v1 exposure often.
Thank you, Aaron.
No worries, Charlie.
As always, we'll be back on Wednesday. Our pre-match show starts half an hour before kickoff, and then, of course, we've got the full game for you on Argyle TV, so you won't miss a thing. A lot of previews tomorrow as well, and I think this is going out just before the draw. So, ball number 10.
Absolutely.
10 past 7.
See what we get.
First time since 2007 that we've been in the 5th round. That is us done. We're off to enjoy our Fanta and some nachos. Yeah. Celebrate in the best way possible. Enjoy this one, Argyle fans.